Ozymandias, a poem by Percy Bysshe Shelley. I met a traveller from an antique land who said, two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read which yet survive. Stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal, these words appear: My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away.
Poem about an ancient king, but secretly, it is about something far more frightening. It is about the terrifying realization that one day, everything human beings build will disappear. The poem begins like a strange story carried across centuries. A traveler arrives from a distant desert and describes something half buried beneath endless sand, something enormous, broken, forgotten. In the middle of the empty wasteland stand two massive stone legs with no body attached to them. Nearby lies the shattered face of a king slowly sinking into the desert itself. Even in ruins, the face still feels alive somehow. The expression remains cold, proud, and deeply arrogant, as if the king once believed nothing on earth could ever challenge his power. The sculptor captured something terrifyingly human in that expression: ego, ambition, superiority, the desperate desire to feel larger than ordinary people, and larger than time itself. Then the traveler notices words carved beneath the ruined statue. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. The king believed future generations would stand before his empire in awe forever. But around the statue, there is nothing. No empire, no armies, no palace, no civilization. Only silence and endless desert stretching endlessly beneath the sky. And suddenly the poem changes emotionally. What once sounded powerful now feels deeply tragic. A man who believed himself immortal has been erased almost completely by time. The desert itself begins feeling symbolic, almost like time swallowing human pride without emotion. The sands continue moving silently, while human greatness collapses and disappears beneath them. That is why Ozymandias still feels painfully modern today. Every generation still believes its power will last forever. Leaders, celebrities, billionaires, empires, even ordinary people, all trying to leave permanent marks on the world before time reaches them too. But Shelley quietly reveals a truth most people spend their lives trying to avoid. Power fades, beauty fades, success fades, even memory itself slowly disappears. Human beings build monuments because deep down, they are terrified of being forgotten. And perhaps that is the real sadness hidden inside the poem. Ozymandias wanted eternal greatness, yet the only thing that truly survived him was ruin. Silence became more permanent than power itself. Long after the king vanished, the desert remained, the wind remained, time remained. Nature continued existing quietly, while human ambition turned to dust beneath it. And maybe that is why Ozymandias still feels so haunting today. Because beneath the ancient ruins and empty sands, the poem asks a question every human being eventually faces. If nothing lasts forever, then what kind of life is truly worth living?
The narrator ends with these very pertinent questions. A. Does nothing last forever? What kind of life is truly worth living? Ancient kings of the past, Ashoka the Great, Kanishka, and their empires didn't last. So also the great Vijayanagara Empire. The history tells us that civilizations like Sumerian, Roman, and Indus Valley civilization vanished in the course of time, and we find their remains reminding us of those times. Alexander the Great, Akbar the Great, despots like Napoleon Bonaparte, Hitler, Mussolini also perished and joined the dust. There are no great things to boast of them, so nothing is permanent and lost forever. Dust thou art, and thou goes unto the dust, is an eternal truth. Here I would like to quote the following poems from Telugu. కారే రాజులు రాజ్యములు గల్గవే గర్వోన్నతిన్ బొందరే వారేరి శ్రీ మూటగట్టుకొని పోవంజాలరే భూమిపై పేరైనన్ గలదే సిబి ప్రముఖులున్ ప్రీతిన్ యశకాములై ఈరే కోర్కెడు వారలన్ మరచిరే ఇక్కాలమున్ భార్గవ. English version. Weren't there kings? Didn't they have kingdoms? Won't they feel proud? Where are they now? Did they carry all their wealth to the grave? Do we find their names on earth now? But didn't the renowned kings like Sivi fulfill the wishes of the people who came to them quite willingly and earn fame? Do the present generations forget them now? O my Guru Bhargava. రాజు మరణించే నొకతార రాలిపోయే కవియూ మరణించే నొకతార గగనమెక్కే రాజు జీవించే రాతి విగ్రహములందు సుకవి జీవించే ప్రజల నాలుకయందు. రచయిత కవి గుర్రం జాషువా. English version. King died and fell a star. Poet died, a star stood in the sky. King lived in the stone images. Poet lived on the tongues of the people. I think these two poems answer the questions to some extent. A. Does nothing last forever? Yes, nothing lasts forever. Kings and their kingdoms, even their people, perish. All the wealth amassed by them also vanishes. Then what remains? Their fame, earned by doing good and generous deeds, and also by their sacrifices for the welfare of their people. Then, what kind of life is worth living? The life of the people who don't live for themselves and for only the welfare of their kith and kin, and live for others and for others' welfare. Example, Abraham Lincoln, Mahatma Gandhi, etc. A few to quote. And according to Joshua, great poets and their lives are well remembered as long as their literary works are read and studied. Example, Valmiki, Vedavyas, Kalidas, Bhavabhuti, etc. Sanskrit. Shakespeare, Milton, Wordsworth, Shelley, Keats, etc. English. Kabir Das, Tulsidas, etc. Hindi. Nanaya, Tikkana, Potana, etc. Telugu, and many other literary stalwarts and giants of many languages.